Deborah DiGiovanni, and tonight on the Winnipeg Comedy Festival, we are talking about the differences between men and women. That sounds good, huh? Right? Don't say anything. I like men when they're quiet. Anyway, this one's a keeper. Why don't we start the show?
From Winnipeg, Manitoba, the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival presents Mars and Venus, starring Christine Von Hagen, Rob Hughes, Michelle Shaughnessy, Deborah Kimmett, Michael Gelbart, Chuck Byrne, and Deborah DiGiovanni. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the host of our show about ladies and gentlemen, Deborah DiGiovanni.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Winnipeg Comedy Festival. Tonight's show is all about men and women. And when they asked to name an expert on the differences between men and women, I know that you all thought of me as the worst person for this job. Am I right? I don't know what the festival was thinking. The last time I kissed a guy, there was a Y2K scare. But whatever. These are details. The problem with me is I have bad taste in men. My last boyfriend, and I did have a boyfriend. I don't actually have proof. You're just gonna have to trust me. I had a boyfriend one time. He was a drunk, which sort of makes more sense now, doesn't it? A little bit? Yeah, he was a drunk. And one night, he came home so drunk that in the middle of the night, he got up and he actually peed into our closet because he was so drunk he thought it was a bathroom. And just like every other strong, independent woman in this room, I totally dumped him. Like 8 months later. Anyway, I did... Actually, you may not know what to look at me, but I'm gonna tell you this. I'm a wildcat in the sack. Yeah, as long as the lights are off and you don't touch me. But other than that, all right. Anyway, one of my other problems, and there's only one, is that I'm not really good at being a girl either. Like seriously, you know those girls that are always dressing for men? Do you know those ones? They always like, they're always fancy and they're wearing high heels. Not like me. I like to get ready in the morning, look into the mirror and say, hey guys, leave me alone. That's what I like to do. That's working like a charm. Girls, have you seen the ladies that wear high heels on a flight? Do you see when you're getting ready to go on a plane and a woman is wearing stilettos? What? I like to always be ready for an emergency. Are you with me? Just in case something happens. I'm always wearing running shoes. I have a good bra on, Sure, I mean, these girls wearing high heels, they have boyfriends, but I'm ready to land on Lost Island. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you're wearing high heels on a flight, if we go down, we're eating you first. Do you understand what I'm saying? Another thing that is very different between men and women, I don't need to tell you this, the pornography is very different. Men like scary stuff. You like scary stuff. And women just want to see a cute shirtless guy doing their dishes. You know what I mean? That's all we're looking for. You know what else? I found this out. I saw it on Oprah, so you know it's true. I found out that men in Brazil are allowed to divorce their wife if she gets fat. Now, the only solution to that is, of course, start fat. What's wrong with you? Start fat. Are you kidding? Then they're roped in, and they can't get up because you're on them. But anyway, but my question is this. If a man can do that because a woman gets fat, what about the women in Brazil? Are they allowed to divorce their men if they go bald? Are they? Although I guess not, because they're used to bald stuff in Brazil. Right? All right, I'm sorry. All right, here's something else. My male friends, I have boyfriends, a lot of them, and they argue with me. They have this is my favorite defense for cheating, is that men say, biologically, it's necessary for men to cheat so they can spread their seed. You hear that? Biologically. So they make sure that their genes live on, right? Really? Really? Are you in that much in demand? Is that what you're telling me? We want your DNA so badly? Let me say this. If you are not a cross between Stephen Hawking and Ryan Gosling, we don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need any more of you. Thank you very much. And I know what you're all thinking. Ryan Gosling in a wheelchair. Hot, am I right? Throw a stick in his spokes and he's yours, right? That is... Oh, that's a good idea. Write that down. So I think we're ready to go. You guys ready for the show? Are you ready? Now, our first comic, everybody. When it comes to comedy, this woman takes no prisoners. When it comes to men, she takes a lot of prisoners, actually. And they're all down in her sex dungeon. Anyway, I'm just kidding. They're in the trunk of her car. Everyone, please help me. Welcome to the stage, the fabulous and funny Christine Von Hagen.
Winnipeg, it's good to be here. I'm going to tell you this about myself right off the bat. Get ready to get excited. I just got married. How do you feel about that? Married! 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 To a man! Yeah! It's exciting. He's Italian, which is frightening, because he's super Italian. Like, disturbingly Italian. Like, he's basically just a ball of fur with a gold chain. He's so soft. I like to keep my marriage fresh. Sometimes I read Cosmo magazine for tips. Yeah, here's a tip. Don't do that. Cosmo's full of garbage. It's always the same article, 101 ways to turn on your man. So I'm like, yes, I need 100 ways. Because I already have one way. Everybody has one way, you know. My way goes something like this. Men are not complicated creatures. You. Still got it. Married. But I need 100 more, 100 backups in case doesn't work. And this is an actual Cosmo suggestion. To seduce your man, give him a kiss behind the knees. How creepy is that? A kiss behind the knees. First of all, I don't know if my husband's ever washed behind his knees. You're welcome. A kiss behind the knees. I don't know. I'm pretty sure if I'm ever down there, what he's secretly hoping for tonight is a kiss behind the knees. A knee job. A classic KJ. You know? I don't think I'm ever going to hear, why would you kiss me behind the knees? I'm my husband's second wife. Any second wives here? Second wife. Being that lady. Right on, sister. It's very exciting being a second wife. It's very powerful. Because all that really means is somebody else swooped in, broke his spirit, traumatized him. Now I just have to be not insane and I get away with murder. Oh, it is the best. And groundwork has been laid. I love it. Like if I say something like to my husband, like, maybe you should do some dishes once in a while, he's going to do some dishes once in a while. Because he's learned if he doesn't do dishes for 5 years, he loses half his stuff. Thank you, crazy first wife. Yay! The vows are harsh when you get married, too. Oh, my God. Until death do you part. Take it easy. Who is that for? Until death do you part? Come on. I think we all know that doesn't work. I think they need to tone it down for 2013. I think it should be more like, until one of you gets creeped out do you part. Like, yes, high five. I'm into that. Because until death do you part, what does that lead to? Murder. Because I watch those murder shows, the real murder shows, like 48 Hours or Dateline NBC, yes, or everything on A&E. And it's always the same murder every single week. Woman goes missing, woman's been murdered, and who's done it? Husband, every single time, but they drag it out for the full hour, like we don't know where it's going. It's the weirdest show. It'll be like, gung, gung, then Cheryl went missing. I'm like, it's her husband. They're like, her purse was left on the counter, because it was her husband. Everyone loves Cheryl, except for her husband. Then an hour later, they're like, oh, it's her husband. I'm like, no kidding. If I wasn't high, I'd be a cop, I guess. I don't know. Because I just want to say, here and now, if I go missing and I've been murdered, it's my husband. Just go get him. We have a rug in our living room. If that rug is gone, I'm in the rug. Find the rug. The rug's the key. If he's like, oh, I got the rug cleaned, he's never even vacuumed the rug. Get to the bottom of it. He's not a murderer at all. But I do watch so many of these murders, I'm super paranoid. So now everything he says to me, I'm like, oh, I'm on to you. Like the other day, he actually went, we should buy a house in the country. I'm like, yeah, where no one can hear me scream. Nice try, hunting accident. He's not a murderer at all. And actually, he hates that joke. Because every time he hears it, he's like, well, now, what happens if you go missing and get murdered? I'm like, oh, well, you're screwed. There'll be footage of me here going, it's him, the rug, he's crazy. Winnipeg, you have been a blast. Thank you so much. Good night.
Rob Pugh does something no woman can. Give advice to men. Next on the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
Now, some men are boyfriend material, and some men are just material for my boyfriend jokes. And then there's this guy who's, what's the word? What is it? Oh, yeah, taken. Anyway, please help me welcome the very cute and very, very funny Rob Pugh.
Hey, Winnipeg, how you feeling? It's always nice to come back here. I think the whole point of this show is to illustrate some differences, maybe some similarities between the sexes here. I think it starts at a very young age, of course. Aside from the physical differences, there's all the subtle ones. Young boys and young girls, if you've got kids, they have very different priorities, right? Little girl, what's she want to be? She wants to be a princess. I want to be a princess. I want a castle. I want people to get me stuff. What's a little boy want? You ask a little boy what he wants to be, he's like, I want to be a potato. Oh, I love potatoes. It doesn't move much further past that. Now, as people grow older, we obviously, you get older and you interact with the opposite sex, and that changes people. As we start to even out, you get into your 20s and people start going out to nightclubs, and there's awful decision. You'll often see women show up at a club dancing. It's the girls' night, it's the ladies' night. Let's go out, let's just have fun for us. And they'll get out on the dance floor, and there'll be 8 of them. Safety in numbers, you know? It's a very primitive, animalistic trait. It's like gazelle out in the Serengeti. They're dancing out on the floor, just Drunk male hyena should happen to wander a little close to the pack. One of them gives out a little warning call. And all their bums tighten up in the pack. So they gotta protect the young one. They'll be dancing, having a great night, and you keep watching as the guy just waiting for your moment, and sooner or later, 2 of them are gonna separate from the pack. They're gonna go to the bar and do a shot. Let's go, let's do a shot. One of the ladies takes a shot, slams it back, heads right back to the dance floor, right? She's got a tempered liver. Second girl, I don't know what her problem is. Maybe she's sick, maybe she's tired, maybe her leg's broken. The point is she's straggling from the herd. And she turns around and sees that her friend is no longer there, and now she becomes disoriented. Now, this girl will break emotionally, and I think we've all watched this happen. She can't find her friend. She feels she's been abandoned by anybody close to her, and she slowly has this emotional meltdown. It's just... Hi, yeah, no, I don't need a drink. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. My best friend just left me. It's okay. If my best friend doesn't love me, then nobody loves me. Cue the drunk guy. I love you. Huh? I'm glad not to be a part of that anymore, you know. I've got a girlfriend, and it's wonderful. I've learned one thing in this relationship I have now, without a doubt. I know that my girlfriend needs heat. She needs to be warm. She needs my body heat. It's my job as a man to go home at night, plug myself in, and be a heat rock. So every time that lovely cold-blooded iguana decides that she wants to come to bed, she's got a nice warm place to roast her frozen feet on my torso. Now, from that response, I'd venture to say that there's not one man in here right now who hasn't been lying in bed for 15 minutes, throwing off normal mammal heat, pumping it out, just whoa, whoa, whoa. Had that lovely little lizard sashay in out of the bathroom, climb up her branch into bed. The comforter then wafts up, and that last warm rush of air crosses over top of the midsection, quickly followed by a big frozen thigh. Thwack! Right on the midsection, right here in the middle. Folds a full-grown man in half like a lawn chair. Just hit it! Our boys make a split-second decision. See ya, see ya. When it comes to shrinkage, there's not a compassionate woman in the room. You look at that shriveled little mass and you think, do you feel horny, Tiger? Like, yeah, it's pretty funny, sweetie. Maybe if you grab a fork and a salad spoon, dig my boys out of my bum, we could have a go at it. I feel like I'm touching a nerve in here. If anybody doesn't believe me that the females are cold-blooded reptiles, make one mad. Make a woman really mad. You know? Start an argument with her and then tell her she's acting just like her mother. You see? You see? You watch that little Lamb of God you came to know and love unzip her little Halloween costume. Unveiling the dragon truly known as woman. Zip. I've had a lot of fun talking to you guys, Winnipeg. We'll see you again. Good night.
Michelle Shaughnessy opens up her single file on the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
This next young lady is single. So single ladies, you're gonna love her because she's speaking directly to you. No, actually, wait. You're gonna hate her because she's cute and she's the competition. Ugh. Please help me welcome the very funny Michelle Shaughnessy.
Thank you. Hello, Winnipeg. I'm so excited to be here. I am single, as she said. Do we have any other single people in here? All right. Do we have any single men in here? All right. Just you and me, bud. There you go. A few months ago, I hooked up with an older gentleman. Thank you. The next morning, I jump in to use his shower, and it dawns on me. Oh, no. The seat in this shower is not for sex. I'm a nice young lady, though. I don't want you guys to give the wrong impression. That was just a sex joke. I'm not super promiscuous. Don't have sex with every guy I meet. Sometimes they say no. I think men are better when it comes to approaching the opposite sex. Am I right? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Like, I did a show last night, and I have glasses. And after the show, this guy came up to me, and he's like, "Excuse me, your glasses are so sexy." And I should have said, "Thank you." But I was like, "Thanks, I have astigmatism in both of my eyes." You beautiful women know when somebody's staring at you and they're checking you out, you know it, you can feel it, right? You can feel it. I was in a sports bar and I'm like, everybody is checking me out. I'm so hot. Yeah. Like everyone's looking at me because I'm sexy. And someone's like, "Sit down, you're blocking the game." Does anyone here try hard to get? Have you tried playing hard to get? I started off hard to get. Like, I'm really good at hard to get. Really good at hard to get. And then once you get me, I'm really hard to get rid of. It's always awkward, too, you know, when a guy invites you to his place for the first time, you show up and you have to pretend like you didn't already know where he lives. Okay, a few nights ago, I was confident, and I said hi to a guy, which I never do. And I was trying to build up the confidence, okay? And I'm like, I think this guy is checking me out, legitimately. I looked around, there were no TVs in the bar. So I said hi, I'm like, "Hey." And he looks at me and he goes, "Are you hammered?" I just got there, so I'm like, "No." And I think maybe it's gonna be a joke. Like, I think maybe it's a funny joke for him to be like, "Let me buy you a drink then." So I'm like, "No." And then he goes, "Cool. Come find me when you're hammered." That's not appropriate. At no point in time, ever, does a man have the right to try and take advantage of a drunk young woman. Ever, when he did not pay for any of those drinks. I set up 2 friends recently. Guys don't do that, do they? Guys do not play matchmaker. No, they don't. Because you wouldn't know how to do it. Like, I'd be like, "Oh, Jess, you need to meet Charlie. He's tall, he's handsome. You guys have so much in common." Guy'd be like, "Why don't you meet this girl, Kathy? She has a vagina." I set 2 friends up recently. I know why guys don't do it now. Because you know that if you set your friend up, you've just lost your friend. I set my 2 friends up and it really hurt my feelings. Like, they made a good match. They're getting married. So I'm happy for them. Now they're in love and I don't exist anymore. Live and you learn, right? Don't set up 2 friends when you only have 2 friends. Guys are just more creepy in this day and age. That's what I think. They're all obsessed with the threesomes. Like, my ex used to ask all the time, like, to the point of annoyance. He'd be like, "Hey, why don't you bring a friend into the bedroom?" Like, how would I even go about that? It's like, pick a random girl from my phone. "Hey, Jess, what's going on, sweetheart?" "Cool, what are you doing Friday?" "Sweet. After that, do you want to come over and be as disappointed as I usually complain to you I am?" Thank you very much, Winnipeg. You guys were a lot of fun. Thank you.
They say women need to feel loved, while men love to feel needed. Me, I'd love to need this man. Like dough. Until he rises. Anyway, Please help me welcome the very funny Michael Gelbart.
Hello, comedy lovers. Hey, look, before I get started, let me ask you this. Who's in love? Clap if you're in love. Is there anyone in love? I love asking that question and looking at everybody, because people look at the person they're with to make sure that they clapped. Oh, man, if you're a guy, you got to know how to dress, right? Men don't know how to dress, right? I was out, I saw a guy wearing a shirt with a list of reasons on it why beer is better than women. And then you look at the guy, and you know he's only had beer. You ever see that shirt in the store? They don't even make it in medium. And the reasons on the shirt are designed to make the guy think that he's the boss of women, right? So it's like, a beer never steals the remote control. Or, you can have more than one beer in the same night. But the reasons never explain how he became the guy who bought the shirt. A beer never says it only likes you as a friend. A beer never changes its phone number on you. A judge never orders that you can't come within 50 feet of your ex-beer's house. Women wear some crazy clothes too, right? I saw this one, she's like a neurotic-looking middle-aged woman, right? And she had a shirt on with a drawing of another neurotic-looking middle-aged woman. And underneath that it said, "I survived my son's bar mitzvah." Now, I don't know how much you all know about bar mitzvahs, but the survival rate is pretty much 100%. I heard this from a woman once. I was dating this woman, and she said this, "Oh, you don't have to worry about me getting clingy. I'm like a dude." And then you date her, and she's nothing like a dude, right? Which is good, because he didn't want her to be. But for some reason, women feel that being feminine's weakness, right? That's why men never do that in reverse, right? You don't have to worry, I swear, I'm like a chick. I'll ask you where we stand every couple of days. I'll yell for no reason, I'll cry during the notebook, just give me a chance. And some guy's gonna get a woman's number tonight, and I'm gonna say something now that's gonna help the women out. Guys, you're allowed to call the woman 2 times. It could be a call and a text, could be 2 texts, could be 2 calls. If they don't return either, it's over. We have to delete the number immediately. Nothing good in the history of man has ever happened during call 3. No woman has ever heard call 3 and said, "Well, you know what? I didn't like him at all after the first 2 calls, but now there's a desperation in his voice that sounds kind of sexy." So I'm always wanting to figure this out. Can men and women actually be friends? Can men and women be friends? And I'm here to tell you, I believe men and women can be friends. I've had female friends that I've never had sex with, and I've had female friends that I've had sex with a few times. I have a name for them. Better friends. There's a pattern to my relationships, though. Most of the women I go out with, the guy they date before me is rich. Then the guy they date after me, rich. There can only be 1 or 2 reasons for this. Either the incredibly shallow women that I choose see something special in me, or I told them I was rich. Thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Deborah Kimmett separates the men from the boys. Next on the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
This next comic isn't interested in arguing about the differences between men and women. Not because she's above such conflicts, but because she knows she's right. Please help me welcome Deborah Kimmett.
All right, let's get this started. Men have different brains than women. Scientists have actually proven that a woman is using more of her brain while she's asleep than a man is while he's awake. It's not an insult. You see, I saw this on 60 Minutes or E-Talk, and you see, the man is using the left side of the brain or the right side of the brain, but not both sides of the brain together. This explains so much. That when you come into a room and he's watching television and you start talking to him, he can't hear you. If the salt gets put here and it then gets moved over here, he can't see it. And this is why polygamy would never be a female concept. No woman would ever get up one day and say, hey, I think I need 17 husbands. 17 men all asking you, where's the salt? Where's the salt? And men are trying to be modern today, right? They're trying to be more understanding towards women. But what possesses a man to walk up to you when you're in a hormonal state and say, do you think it's your hormones? I think it's you. The hormones have just made that clear. But then at my age, men and women's brains change, and it confuses the sexes. Men's testosterone goes down, women goes up, men get boobs, women get mustaches. It's Movember every month of the year for mama. And for me, when 50 hit, I left a marriage. 20 years, a hard time, I got out. And it's not his fault. You know, he told me who he was the first day I met them. Men will tell you that. The first day you meet them, they're like the cigarette package. The warning's right there on the label. But women just forget it and light up anyway, right? Because what do we do when we see a man? We see a man, he's got potential. No, he doesn't. And I'm wild. I'm thinking about things all the time. I want a man, I want a man. I just got out of a 20-year marriage and I want a man. My married friends say, take a lover. What? Where am I going to take a lover? I live in the country. Where am I going to find a lover? I go to the dump and, you know, and that guy's my cousin, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm looking for a man, and where do you go? You go where everybody goes. You go online. You go online dating. I go out on this date. I haven't dated in 20 years. You know, I'm a bit rusty in this area. So I prop everything up. You know, I get a pair of Spanx that have just given me breasts. And I'm out there, and I'm feeling pretty good about myself. And I look in front of the window in the cafe that I'm going to walk into, and I look, and I cannot believe what I see. It's my mother's face staring back at me. She's just invaded my whole face, and I'm even holding my purse like her. And I'm out there in the front of it, and I'm like, oh my God, what if he doesn't like me? I'm too heavy. But if I get depressed and he breaks up with me, I'll lose weight, but then what would be the point of that? And I'm thinking how awful I am. So I walk in, and there's nobody there except this old guy in bicycle shorts. Yep, that's mine. And he looks at me, and I look at him, and we're like two deer caught in the headlight. He hasn't dated in 35 years. The poor guy, he got wound up on the coffee, and he started talking about his submersible pump. And I'm thinking, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. When I was 20, a man could talk about his submersible pump, and somehow I think he was talking dirty. And I know better. I gotta tell, it's not the guy's fault. It's both of us. I can't even flirt anymore. A guy called me the other night, he goes, what are you wearing? And I said, orthotics. But I lie in bed, and I think about sex. I think, God, I should get out of this flannel nightie and just get me, oh, Homeland's on. And people say, you know, sex is better after 50. Sex is not better after 50. Unless you've been a virgin or a nun, it has not been better, you know? Not when you need 10W30 to get the Tinderland started, you know what I mean? Not when you need a blue pill. And that 4-hour erection, what's that about? I couldn't take that. What would you do with it? What would you do? You'd have to go clean the stove or buy a purse. I don't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do. My mother said that I should just get one of those clappers, like for the lamps, like, turn it off. And my mother's going, the only time I think about a man is when I need to unscrew a jar of beets. But my aunts still date. 78, 79, they got men. They go out with nice men who take them out. One guy died on her. Not on her. So she calls my mother, freaked out. My mother goes over and goes, good night, thank you.
Married father of two, Chuck Byrne feels useful for a change. Coming up on the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
Please welcome Chuck Byrne.
Yes, I am married, and we have 2 kids, so I'm in pretty deep. It's different, man. They are different. We live on Venus because what are you going to do? And Venus is nice. It's lovely. It's just different. I got this shirt on Venus. Yeah. It says so right on the label. Made on Venus. Tumble dry. Don't act tough. It's not better or worse. It's just different. You have to be ready to deal with things that aren't necessarily logic-based if you're going to live on Venus. Because the woman's brain is not like the man's brain. Man's brain runs on logic. You know what a guy says to himself most of the time to make a decision? If he makes the wrong decision, he gets a little voice in his head. That doesn't even make sense. Women don't say that to themselves. Oh, that feels right. My wife wanted me to give up drunken snoring. Do you have any idea how hard it is to give up a habit you're not entirely sure you have? I am traditionally the guy who ruins your camping trip. That's me. I'm the guy from the other side of the lake. I've had people leave tents they were sharing with me at 3 a.m. during a thunderstorm. Zip, 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 screw this! When I was a single guy living on Mars, didn't have to worry about my drunken snore. All right? Even if you got a girlfriend, she's staying at your place. What's she gonna do about your drunken snore? Complain? Are you gonna leave? Awesome. Means I'm gonna spend my hangover sitting around in my underpants instead of wandering around a flea market looking for this shirt. But I'm married now, and you can't pull that stuff off when you're married, you know. I have 2 kids, 1 boy, 1 girl, very close in age, right? And they're different. It's in the chromosomes. There's nothing you can do about it. They're just different. They have different operating systems. My boy, I find he's easy to deal with for me because I got the same brain. Simple, 2-stroke, fix it with a paperclip, no problem. I get into the same amount of conflict with both of them, but I can resolve it with my son. Can't do it with my daughter. My son gets angry at me, you know what he does? Growls. It's easy to understand that. The first tantrum he ever threw, like screaming, losing control, pounding his fists on the floor tantrum, you know why? We ran out of bacon. I've never been more proud of anything in my life. Just rolling around the floor. I want bacon! I want bacon! I want bacon! I got down there with him. We want bacon! My little girl, not easy at all. Not easy at all, because she won't explain things to me, right? Because they're not logical. It doesn't need to be for her. I've been having the same argument with her for a year. Do you have any idea how hard it is to continually lose an argument to a 4-year-old? My daughter wouldn't wear underpants. That's what we fought about. She wouldn't wear underpants. I don't ask much. That wouldn't be a problem, except she also likes to sit on the couch with her feet over her head. Don't want to see it. Don't want to see it. I'll watch the Care Bears, but put that away. And what's annoying is she won't even tell me why, so I can't even try to fix the problem. Screaming arguments I've had with my little girl. Screaming arguments about underpants. You finally get her to put on the underpants. You get to the mall, she peels them off, throws them right at you. I hate underpants! I found out why. Not because she told me. It was one night, it was very late. I was sitting in my office, heard a little noise on the monitor. I'm like, okay, here we go. I go upstairs and I find her. She's sitting there on the potty right beside her bed. You know, she's got the little potty beside her bed, so she doesn't have to go all the way to the bathroom. Pretty good idea. So I walked up there and she's sitting there. I'm like, so what's going on? She's like, I'm going pee. Huh. You gonna put underpants on when you're done? Dad, I hate wearing underpants. I'm like, I know, we've been fighting about that for a while. I'd really like you to wear underpants. Dad, I don't like wearing underpants because when I wear underpants, they go in my vagina. And I hate it when things go in my vagina. Okay then. Perhaps we're not so different after all. It's been a pleasure, Winnipeg. Thank you very much.
So that is the end of the Mars and Venus show. Couples, thank you for watching. Now go and enjoy the fights we provoked. Thanks so much, everyone. Good night!
Your attention, please. We are the Boy Gang. Welcome to the show.
Go, 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 go. Based on a true story.
Your father, he warned me about you.
Edwin Boyd, Citizen Gangster, Saturday at 9 on CBC.